Hi, welcome back to Journey into Stories. Today I'm going to do my book haul for February 2025. I have just a little stack of books here that I want to go through and share with you all in case anybody's interested in picking one of these books up. Some of these I've had on a wish list for quite a while, and I was gifted from my husband, so it was a surprise. The first book I've wanted to read for a very long time, and it's called Brother by Anya Alborn, I think. It's this one. Deep in the heart of Appalachia stands a crooked farmhouse miles from any road. The Moros keep to themselves, and it's served them well so far. When girls go missing off the side of the highway, the cops don't knock on their door, which is a good thing, seeing as to what's buried in the Morrow's backyard. But 19-year-old Michael Morrow isn't like the rest of his family. He doesn't take pleasure in the screams that echo through the trees. Michael pines for normalcy, and he's sure that someday he'll see the world beyond West Virginia. Okay, I don't want to read the next two sentences, even though I just read it. I don't want to share it with you guys. A little going into a book blind is always good and better to me. So it does say about the author, Anya is a great storyteller who spins an atmosphere of dread literally from the first page. So I'm really excited to read this book. It's one I've wanted to read for a very, very long time. And so hopefully sooner than later. This is Brother. The next one is Ein Hollow by Tim McGregor, a gift to monster lovers everywhere. Okay, this book, I believe, is a retelling of, hang on, I need to pull out the eyeglasses so I can see. Okay, this is about a lady, Agnes, and she befriends a stranger that comes to town, and his name is Frankenstein, and he's come to this remote isle to fulfill a monstrous obligation. Near perfect pacing, compelling voices, and spine-tingling thrills that almost vibrate on the page. An excellent example of the very best of the popular historical and retelling horror tropes. So this is, I love the story Frankenstein, and I came across this book and added it to my wish list, and then my husband surprised me with this. So really excited to get to this. I might read it later in the year, fallish, maybe around Halloween time. I think that would be a fun time to read this book. The next book I picked up, and this was watching a YouTuber. I can't recall the channel, but I typed in Biltmore Estate. The Biltmore is the largest house ever built in America. And a lot of people that have gone to the Biltmore Estates, they recommended this book. It's called The Last Castle by Denise Kiernan, and the epic story of love, loss, and American royalty in the nation's largest home. I just thought this would be a lot of fun to read when and if I ever get to go to Biltmore. And I believe Biltmore Estates is in... maybe it'll tell me. North Carolina? Asheville, I think. Let's see. I don't even know. Yeah, Asheville, North Carolina. And it's the family, the Vanderbilt family, built the house as far as I know. I don't know a lot about Biltmore, but I've watched videos on it, and I've watched tours on it. And it's just a castle right here in the United States. And I'm fascinated. I've wanted to actually go to this back when I was in high school. This is kind of a roundabout thing. I was able to go to Germany in high school, and we toured Neuschwanstein, and I love that castle, King Ludwig's Neuschwanstein. And to find out that we have a castle here in the United States, I am all about that. I'd love to go someday and check it out and maybe read it while I'm there. So, okay, this is a love story by Jessica Soffer. And this has been all over social media that I follow, and I don't know anything about it. I think an intimate and lyrical celebration of great love, great art, and the sacrifices we make for both. For 50 years, Abe and Jane have been coming to Central Park as starry-eyed young lovers, as frustrated and exhausted parents, as artists watching their careers take flight. They came alone when they needed to get away from each other, and together when they had something important to discuss. The park has been their witness for half a century of love until now. Oh, and then there's some sad stuff. Okay, I like to give you guys a little bit of the books, but then sometimes the jackets can reveal too much that I don't even want to know before I read it. But it came highly recommended from Jenna, Read with Jenna. It's a Read with Jenna book, and I believe it was for the month of February, if I'm not mistaken. And she just picks really wonderful books, and I thought I would like to read this one for sure. Some books that she's chosen I've read before, and I do have a backlist of books that I would like to read that she has talked about on the show, the Today Show. So I'm excited to get to this. I was hoping to get to it in February, but you know, that's a book you can read any time of the year. The next book is Rest Stop by Nat Cassidy. Funny, beautiful, and scary. A locked room nightmare that spirals into mania. Gory, witty, and terrifying. Left me literally gasping. I am a big fan of Nat Cassidy as an author, and I saw that he had this book out. I don't know when it came out. I really know nothing about it, except I love Nat Cassidy as an author. Copyright 2024. Okay, so it's relatively new. October. Yeah, it's new to me. So I really want to get to this. It's not very long. It's a couple hundred pages, maybe. Let's see. Ooh, 137 pages. 138 pages. And I thought this would be a fun, maybe, book to add over the weekend at some point when I just want a quick read and a trusted author to me. So this one is Night Watching by Tracy Sierra. I don't remember why I put this in my wish list, but I'm liking what I read about it. Okay, home alone with your young children during a blizzard. A mother tucks her son back into bed in the middle of the night. She hears a noise. It's the tread of heavy footsteps slowly coming up the stairs. Ooh. Things like this give me the creeps because this could really happen in real life, you know? A man appears down the hallway, shrouded in the shadows. Terrified, the mother quietly wakes her children and hustles them into a secret room concealed behind a wall. They hide as the man searches for them, trying to tempt the children out with promises and scare the mother into surrender. Wow. I know why I would have put this in my wish list. So this sounds really, really good. And I kind of had a scary moment once with my two precious babies. And I know to this day they still remember. I know you remember what I'm talking about, kids. But yeah, we were kind of home alone, and Dad was out of town, and we had a little thing. Nothing bad happened, but it was really, really creepy. And I know they remember to this day. So Night Watching by Tracy Sierra. So that sounds really good. Okay. The next one, The Frozen River by Ariel Mahan, I hope. This was a Good Morning America book club book, and I also have seen this book everywhere too. And everywhere I've looked about it, it has really high ratings also. Maine, 1789, when the Kennebec River freezes, a man in ice, Martha Ballard is summoned to examine the body. As a midwife and healer, her diary is a record of every birth and death, crime and debacle that unfolds in the close-knit community of Hollowell. Months earlier, Martha documented the details of an alleged crime committed by two of the town's most respected gentlemen, one of whom has now been found dead in the ice. But when a male physician declares the death accidental, Martha is forced to investigate on her own. And then there's some more details about it. Compelling, a most uncozy mystery that addresses the unbalanced power dynamics of men and women, rich and poor. Yeah, this sounds wonderful. And I've heard so many good things about this book. So pick this one up. Okay, the next book is a favorite author of mine. I didn't even know this book was coming out so quickly this year. It's a chunker. It's almost 500 pages. So it's a big book. It has, from people I've looked up that have read it, they've enjoyed it. And it's Grady Hendrix, one of my all-time favorites, Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. And everything he's written, I've given nothing less than probably 4.5 stars. I love his writing. I love him as an author. He's just one of my favorites. So I was really excited that this came out really quickly. Okay. They call them wayward girls, loose girls, girls who grew up too fast, and they're sent to the Wellwood House in St. Augustine, Florida, where unwed mothers are hidden by their families to have their babies in secret, to give them up for adoption, and most important of all, to forget any of it ever happened. I'm not reading anything more than that, but that's about what I knew. It could have said anything and I still would have grabbed it. He is truly a favorite of mine. So Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by Grady Hendrix. This I want to get to sooner than later. Definitely. All right, the next two books that I picked up were add-ons from Book of the Month, and I've heard a lot of things about them. And I just added the third book in this trilogy for my March Book of the Month as an add-on. I think it just came out. So one is Butcher and Blackbird and Leather and Lark by Bryn Weaver. I don't know which one's book one, book two, without looking it up. I've heard a lot of good things about this, and I don't want to read anything in case it spoils something if I read the wrong thing in order. And I don't remember what the new book is called, but again, I added it as my add-on for March. So excited to get to those. Okay, and the Book of the Month book that I chose for February is Famous Last Words by Gillian McAllister, I think it is. One morning he's your husband, by nightfall he's a criminal, and these are his famous last words. This is about a new mother whose world is upended when her husband commits a terrifying crime. How well does she truly know the man she loves, and what danger does she face if her entire life has been built on a lie? That's all I'm going to read about that. So grabbed this for, again, my February 2025 Book of the Month book. So that's it. That was my haul for February. I'm really excited to get to them. And right now I'm doing, there's not going to be a weekly check-in for this week because I'm working on a reading vlog that's going to incorporate the books for the weekly check-in that I would have just done a weekly check-in video. I hope whatever you're doing well. I hope you're reading something amazing. I hope beyond everything, you're being kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to one another. And until the next video, guys, I'll see ya. Have a great day. Bye, guys. See you in the next video.